The two congressmen are listed visionary and the consumer is ready. These are the direct result of the diplomatic and personal engagement by office and members of the diaspora. Democratic Congressman Series, who is a member of the United Dictatorial. I'm heartened that the installed PPP regime's egregious dictatorial and racist rule has gained high-level international attention and has received tacit diplomatic condemnation. Two influential United States congressmen, New Jersey's Abio Series and Georgia's Hank Johnson, have issued statements critical of the PPP regime. The two congressmen have issued calls for the PPP regime to be inclusionary and to ensure that Guyana's oil patrimony is neither hoarded for the PPP's elite nor squandered indiscriminately, signs of which are already emerging. They also called for flood relief to be distributed in a fair and equitable manner. These significant developments are as a direct result of the diplomatic and continuous engagement by the office of the leader of the opposition and members of the diaspora. Democratic Congressman Series, who is a member of the United States House of Representatives and chairman of the influential Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on Western Hemisphere, Civilian Security, Migration, and International Economic Policies, said that he is monitoring the situation in Guyana. Congressman Series made a pointed call for, and I quote, all actors in Guyana, including businesses, civil society, the current government, and the opposition, to be engaged, to advance inclusive economic growth. Congressman Ford said that we should work to ensure the proceeds of oil revenue benefits the entire population, right? Note what he said, the entire population. It is evident that Congressman Series is cognizant of the partisan manner in which the PPP has conducted business since August 2020. And he's expressing concerns about the state of affairs in Guyana and the erosion of democracy here. Congressman Hank Johnson praised the coalition's management of the economy, stating that, and I quote, Guyana has experienced substantial economic growth in recent years, end of quote. He also echoed Congressman Series' concerns in a statement along similar lines, saying that, and I quote, Guyana's wealth is for all the people of Guyana, irrespective of their ethnicity. Congressman Johnson noted that it is important that every person affected by the flood disaster which is affecting us is able to receive the support they need to rebuild their lives in the shortest possible time. I urge the government, he goes on to say, and leaders of the opposition in the National Assembly to work together towards further strengthening Guyana's democracy and building a more inclusive nation. End of quote. Democratic Congressman further stated, the congressmen are absolutely correct in what they're saying. Guyana's resources are not only for the benefit of the PPP and their close friends and associates. Guyana's resources are for all Guyanese, regardless of ethnicity or political and other persuasions. We call on the PPP regime to heed the call of Guyanese and echoed by the congressmen in the United States to ensure that all Guyanese who have suffered and have still not received their COVID-19 cash grants are furnished with this immediately, and that all persons affected by the worst flood in living memory are sufficiently supported during this difficult time when their lives have been severely affected. A clear and unmistakable theme that can be discerned from the two statements made by these two congressmen is that the two are extremely concerned about the authoritarian and partisan manner in which the PPP is imposing itself on Guyanese, and the erosion of democracy, the fostering of disunity and disharmony which the PPP is engendering. There can be no doubt that in addition to the issues expressly identified, that the congressmen are also aware of the PPP's broader tyrannical and authoritarian actions highlighted by the opposition. And this includes, but is not limited to, 1, a plan to create an alternative police unit, which it is widely believed will target and persecute political opponents. 2, the several and varied actions to demolish the guardrails of democracy in Guyana, including the removal of the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee and ignoring the rule of law and rulings of our High Court. Thirdly, the flagrantly racist and discriminatory distribution of COVID-19 and flood relief. Fourthly, the questionable procurement of COVID-19 vaccines without any transparency and accountability. About that we shall hear more later on during the course of this week. Fifthly, the illegal attempt to first exact political influence on and subsequently dismantles the Police Service Commission, and the overall attack on an attempt to overpower and control constitutional bodies. Sixthly, the weaponizing of the Guyana police force against political opponents. Seventhly, the baseless and trumped up charges being brought with frequency and regularity against opposition members of parliament and activists and supporters of the opposition. The APNU-AFC coalition, on behalf of all Guyanese, thanks and commends these two congressmen for their forthright comments in urging the PPP regime to depart from its dictatorial and divisive ways and ensure that all Guyanese are involved and included in the development of our beloved country. The coalition looks forward to more high-ranking United States and other foreign government officials joining the call in condemning the PPP's authoritarianism and racist practices and urging an inclusionary approach to the management of the affairs of the Guyanese people. We are committed to continue our work to bring attention of other members of Congress and the United States and other foreign governments to the recklessness and irresponsible governance of the PPPC. In a weak attempt to respond to the congressman's statement, Minister of Governance Gail Teixeira, you heard her last night, issued an utterly false late-night response seeking to dilute the impact of these two statements. She failed miserably, of course, on the basis that her reliance was on shameless falsehoods, which every Guyanese know are at variance with reality, and for which she was scathingly rebuked and condemned on social media this morning and all day today. We also take note of the statements, posture, and actions of particular U.S. Georgetown Embassy officials, which appears to be out of sync with that of leading members of the U.S. government on Capitol Hill, and questions what could cause such a glaring dichotomy to exist. Finally, on behalf of the opposition members of Parliament and all Guyana, I offer my gratitude, particularly to members of the diaspora who have relentlessly assisted in highlighting these issues and bring them to the attention of members of Congress and the United States government. We look forward to your continued support and activism and wish those members of the diaspora in the United States of America a happy Independence Day on July the 4th. I thank you.